Is there anything you guys want to talk about in particular today?
I want to know, is everyone now throwing away their Livestrong bracelets?
Okay, fuck you. I have been saying for years that guy's a fucking scumbag. Okay, for years. Finally, all of a sudden, it's out there in the open. It's proven guilty in court, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, he's guilty. I knew all along. All along. Mikey, I have a question for you, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've talked about this on the show ever, but you are a cancer survivor, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a cancer survivor, how do you feel about Lance Armstrong?
How do I feel about Lance Armstrong?
Mm-hmm.
I never really gave a shit about Lance Armstrong, and I never. And the reason I say never really gave a shit about Lance Armstrong is not because I give a fuck what he does, not because I think he's an asshole. I just never gave a shit about him because I don't think he's ever really given a shit about me.
So even with his cancer awareness programs, you don't think he really gives a shit?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just not something you care about.
Here's the thing. It has zero effect in my life.
So what about all these people who are either cancer survivors or who have cancer who defend Lance Armstrong and say, I don't care what he did, he gives money to cancer awareness?
Well, I'm sure serial killers gave money to charity.
Time out. Hold on.
Not comparing
maybe I missed something here. Did something pop up in the news recently?
Yes. Today it was proven basically there is a 400 page, 300 page.
Look, just get to the point.
I'm talking to Chucky. Maybe he knows better than I do. There's a 300.
Give me the conclusion.
He's the worst director of
Time is going where he does not hear his voice.
So, Chucky, there was, what a 300, 400-page document, that investigation put together with 11 people that ratted him out on his cycling team.
Correct.
That worked
Doping.
for...
Hold on. Is this just all... Now someone's finally proven that he took steroids?
That he was doping.
No, now there's inconclusive evidence.
I don't care that he took steroids.
You don't care about that.
No.
You don't care they lied about it. You don't care anything about that. You don't care about the integrity of any of it. Nothing.
The reason I don't care is because anybody who knows anything about professional cycling knows that every single person in professional cycling is on steroids.
Well, there are some people. I mean, there are some people that don't take steroids that are in professional cycling. You shouldn't say they all do.
Any of the all over in Europe, they're all on steroids.
All right. Well, I'll give you an example here. Not that I don't think you're crazy. I don't think you're far off, but I think it's generalizing. There are people in these affidavits, who had clean tests all the time. Lance Armstrong did not have clean tests all the time. And they feel jilted because they claim they played the game clean and he didn't, and they were on an unfair playing level.
All I'm saying is this. If you're gonna crucify Lance Armstrong, you better fucking open up the express line.
They are crucifying everybody. They're crucifying everybody, but he lied about it for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that
2005, 7 years.
If you're going to go after him, you got about 100 other people.
But there are 100 other people that say, you caught me, I admit it. You got this guy for 7 years who's like, no.
They have tried going after a couple other people.
Yeah.
Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens.
Yeah, and they're all scumbags
for
too.
lying under oath.
Because all they do is lie. We're just asking you to admit it and get it over with. Yeah. Adam's got something to say. I'm sure it's good.
Now, the weird thing, I do a lot of bike riding. It may not look like it.
Oh, that's true. You are now a biker. That's right.
Yeah. Cannondale, Lance Armstrong bike and everything.
All right.
Long story short, one of the things that these cyclists are doing, when they say doping, it doesn't necessarily mean steroids. It's way creepier than that. They work out to some crazy high level at home, and they have a doctor draw their blood at the peak of their adrenaline running, and they actually inject themselves with this psycho blood as they're actually cycling. And the other big thing right now is they're taking it to this thing called the ICU. It's an International Cycling Committee, and they're being all hush-hush about it because they may have actually covered up some of the stuff in 2005.
I'm sure they did. Lester Munson, who is the legal analyst for ESPN, he read this document, and he says it's inconclusive that Lance is full of shit. Inconclusive. He goes, everyone's mad because in L.A., they were brought the case to charge him with fraud, which he could have been proven guilty of fraud. they brought it to them, and for whatever reason, the L.A. district attorney buried it. He dropped the case, said there was no evidence. Now, all of a sudden, there's 400 pages of evidence that came in. And by the way, the reason this 400 pages came in is when L.A. dropped the case, this guy who did the investigation picked it up. So obviously, L.A. didn't even try him. They didn't even give a shit. Lance does do a lot for the entertainment community, I guess. He has a lot of high-powered friends there.
Not Sheryl Crow.
Nope. That's a scumbag move, too.
Yeah, that is pretty bad. Dumping a woman when she has breast cancer.
By the way, the week she got it.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Like, you don't even wait 3 weeks.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, if he was planning on doing it, maybe he dilly-dalled around for too long. And
yeah, you kind of hold it off then for a few more weeks. Okay.
Yeah, you bite the bullet.
but you know, I mean,
it's like when
hold on.
It's like when Corbin Burnson went to the Caribbean for his honeymoon and then met a new woman and married her a week later. Got the honeymoon annulled, got the marriage annulled, and married a new broad that he met on the honeymoon. I mean, you can wait a few months, can't you, Corbin? You can wait. Break your wife's heart maybe, I don't know, 5 days after the wedding's a little extreme. I think your broad gets breast cancer. You can wait more than 4 days.
Especially when you yourself are a cancer survivor.
By the way. yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
And then she got the short end of the stick. She went with Kid Rock.
So this is going to be the last time.
Hold on. Yeah. I just got a thought about this, though. Mm-hmm. Think about it. Maybe things were kind of going a little shaky.
Yeah.
Then the breast cancer thing or whatever. And so much for being in a good mood.
Oh, so Luisi's arrived.
So anyway, you got that whole thing happens. Maybe she gets this and just fucking dives into the dumps and things just start going horrid.
For 4 days? You don't give her a little luxury time with diving in the dumps?
All right, maybe you're right.
I love how he's trying to defend him. He's like, well, listen.
I'm just trying
to... She may have actually cried or something when she found out. I can't handle that.
I got doping to do, sweetheart.
Luisi, like in front of us.
You want to go eat at the table back there? We're on the air and there's rustling.
Oh, boy. And really, Mikey doesn't want to see you eat because then he'll get
I'm not hungry at all.
No?
No.
All right. So Lance Armstrong, last thing we're ever going to say about him on this show. Scumbag. Guilty.
Whatever.
Is that 3-0? What do you mean? Wait, Luisi's defending this guy?
I'm time to move on.
Wait, don't you want to hear Luisi's
No,
defense?
I don't.
Wait,
Charles
I have to know. I know this is going to be
Charles, my IQ is now going to go down, okay?
Luisi, take Terzo's mic for a second and explain yourself. Go ahead. This better be intelligent. If my listeners, by the way, I'm not too sure how much dumber my listeners can get because they listen to this show, but if my listeners get dumber from listening to your explanation of why you love Lance Armstrong, go ahead.
Okay.
Talk into the mic like it's a cock. Go ahead.
One of my good
into the mic.
One of my good friends, their cousin, Vandevelde, is in the top 3 cyclists in the world. Rode with Lance Armstrong the last couple of years. He's one of the hardest working cyclists around. His work ethic is that much better than everybody else's. I hate to tell you.
You want to read that headline before you keep talking?
Obviously,
you don't get the news.
Look
at his face.
Testifies against cyclist legend. Wow. I think it's just bullshit.
So he worked hard. With
Art Vandelay says
all right,
so.
folks, and that's all we're talking about.
Because Art Vandelay says so. Okay. Thank you, Alex, for making all my
Anyway,
listeners
so no more Lance Armstrong talk. What's the next topic?
He's guilty, right?
Guilty.
Guilty.
Whatever.
All right.